I think one of the things that Alpha does well is takes a question and even within the video has a number of different answers or a number of different approaches and has it as a conversation. And so I think that's part of what Alpha is. It's a conversation, and that conversation changes necessarily with whoever's part of it. So you could do Alpha and have one time in one small group, do it another with a different group of people around you and have a completely different experience.
I didn't realize how little I knew about my faith and how little I understood about Christ and about how love works. And I think when we first were talking about like praying and allowing Jesus to come into your heart, that's when I felt something start to change for me. And then when we went on the retreat, that was like a life-changing experience because, and I'll never forget it, when we were all sitting there in the room watching the video, and Nikki Gumbel said, okay, I want you to pray with me. And, you know, everyone together say, come, Holy Spirit. And everyone did, and I just felt this incredible, like, love just fill my heart and soul and like every fiber of my being. So I didn't, I've been going to church my whole life, but I did not really have a visceral understanding until after Alpha.
I went through a situation where my mother's health was bad, and we knew she wasn't going to leave the hospital alive. I just knew that. And a moment that I couldn't see coming was the 5 boys that were in my group started asking me questions about my mom, and then one particular young man asked the members of the group if it'd be okay if they prayed for my mom. Things switched. We were no longer into the video, we were into something else that actually pertained to the video. Because the question that night was, have you ever prayed for someone and it wasn't answered, and how did you feel? So they stopped the group and asked if they could pray for my mom. It was super heartfelt. It was emotional. I didn't understand it, but 4 10-year-olds and a 13-year-old made the difference that night.
I created relationships with people that I normally wouldn't have spoken to just because of my anxiety. So that helped. And then also being on the Alpha retreat, I got a chance to interact with other people that I wouldn't have normally talked to. So it's just made me feel very welcome and very a part of. And it's changed my prayer life. I pray every day, and I've started to read the Bible. It was funny because today I was waiting for an appointment and I had a few minutes and I was like, it's okay, I can sit and read my Bible. And then I was like, when did I get excited about reading a Bible? But it's changed my life. You know, each week it grew where I could see where I was building this connection with God, and I was understanding it a lot more than I used to. And you know, before the Alpha group, I would come to church from time to time, but I didn't come every Saturday because I kind of felt like an outsider.
I plan to do it again because of what Alpha does, because of the intimacy that you get in that small group, and because of what the dose of how God can be in the expanse, but also in the infinitesimal, a very small thing. In our hearts, our thoughts, our minds, He can be in everything. And He was in our group for sure. There were just so many moments where somebody was going through something, and we were able to be there for each other, and to talk about that topic would lead us right into what that person may have been going through. Such a mix of people. We had parents, we had grandparents. When I talk about the young man that was in our group that's recovering, how he just kept it so real, and that we also kept it so real, and that we just showed him that throughout all of it, love wins, love prevails. And Alpha is a way of showing someone who really doesn't know that love of Christ, that love is always going to win.
It was interesting. I got together with like a bunch of people I didn't know. There was a cop in my group, and like this guy I know from like the community. He's like big in the community center in a different town, and like we actually like talk Like, it's hard for me to believe I would have friends like that. I just got real with my group, honestly. I told them, like, horrible stuff that's going on in my life. I'm a recovering junkie, and these people never lived their life like I did, and they did the right things. It's crazy that I feel like they cared about my issues.
Alpha, it really changed my life because it has really made a difference on my recovery. And you know, I've been trying to get clean for about a little over 3 years now, and I always had trouble, and I couldn't figure out, you know, what I was missing or why I was having such difficulty. And, you know, I thought maybe my spirituality and, you know, my lack of a connection with God could have been the problem. So that was another reason why I wanted to try Alpha, and it has completely changed everything for me. You know, I've read the Bible every day since I came back from Alpha, and it's a very big part of my life now. And like I said in the beginning, I was having trouble getting clean, and now I've been clean the longest that I've ever been clean. And so it's really made a huge difference for me, and I love it.
Alpha was supposed to be for people who maybe don't know Christ, or the beginners. And even though I have been going to church for years, have been taking Bible studies and even seeking Christ, I wasn't prepared to walk in such a close-knit group that trusted each other and poured out their hearts to each other when we had questions or concerns about what we were hearing through the videos, what we were hearing about Christ's life. And there was a couple people in our group, it was a brand new relationship for them. And to watch eyes open, watch hearts melt, walls come down, it just happened right before our eyes. There wasn't a dry eye in the room several times. Grown men, women, it was just beautiful. I can't imagine not continuing with a program like this over and over again. I look forward to it.
I would recommend this to anybody who is interested in growing their faith or getting to know God, or even just trying to feel a part of the church.
Yeah, I've been trying to get some of my friends to do Alpha and try and get them to come to church.
Quite an experience that I don't think anyone should miss, and that if you had the chance, do Alpha, do a small group here at Christ Church, and you'll find something just so rewarding that words won't describe how great it will be.